Towards the beginning of this match, it looked like Japan was very much the same side that had carried over their form from recent friendlies into this first World Cup opener in Group H. Japanese football fans not very confident heading into this tournament. The managerial change just a couple of months ago, back in April, getting rid of Vahid Halilhodzic, bringing in JFA insider Akira Nishino. Japan looked like there was a lot of turmoil going on in their federation, and expectations were exceedingly low for the fan base for this tournament. And, indeed, for most of the first half of this match, we saw Colombia really aside from the penalty, we saw Colombia really assert themselves, not just through quality, but physically. Japan, they're your average, typical Asian side. They're not very strong in physical stature, and Colombia outmuscled them for most of this game, winning challenges. Japan, very much a side that relies on their technicality and their passing to compensate for where they lack on other areas of the pitch. But for Colombia, in the first half, absolutely stupid foul to give away by Sanchez, and he deserved to be carded. Subsequent penalty that was taken that gave Japan the lead, I believe it was taken by Shinji Kagawa. But from that point on, when Colombia went down to 10 men, they were still the better. They were the better side for most of that first half. Japan were on the back foot, trying to bring it to the half, all square. Once Colombia did get the equalizer through a free kick outside the edge of the box, that was not a foul, and it was a very harsh call by the referee. And I think any neutral observer can make that reasonable conclusion. He went down way too easily. Perhaps it was a dive. I don't like when players embellish a challenge that is made on them. Perhaps lost a little bit of respect for Falcao, in that one instance. But for the most part, even though Colombia played with the disadvantage of 10 men, I thought that they still played like they were by far and away the better team. And they are the better team, but this was not a good game for them. Japan, the effort they put in the second half to absorb pressure and to stifle Colombia in the middle of the pitch, to make Colombia go after them. Made a lot of back passes, but they played to their strengths, and that's just about all Japan could have done. Because we're talking about two very different styles of play here. We're talking about a physical South American team and an Asian team that relies on its sum being better than its parts. And Japan, I mentioned in a lot of previews leading up to this World Cup, they're a side that does not have playmakers that have individual moments of brilliance. They do make a lot of mistakes. I thought Honda, a couple of touchbacks that he made in this game were almost costly for the Samurai Blue, but they are a team that, when they do rely on a practical blueprint, it can really see you through in the end. And Japan, they played much better in the second half, and it was not something that I expected to see from them. I still thought Colombia would go on to win this game. A lot of the criticism that Japanese football gets from Japanese football journalists and analysts alike is that Japanese national teams are not very mentally strong. They tend to concede a lead that they have. They don't close out a game very well. But this was the opposite of that, and they have a lot to be proud of from this game. The corner that led to them taking the lead, that proved to be the decisive winner through Yuyo Osako. That was a wonderful goal. And Japan had several wonderful opportunities wide open in front of net to put the game away earlier, but they didn't capitalize on it. But they really deserve to win this game. And it's a huge improvement from what Japan did 4 years ago against Colombia, which was their last game in the 2014 World Cup, and they entered the 2018 World Cup against the same team that sent them crashing out 4 years prior when they lost that match 4-1. And what's really interesting is in that match in 2014, James Rodriguez was the one who really put Japan to bed. And in this game, when he came on, you can make a question whether he's not fully 100% fit. I believe that. He didn't look 100% fit. He had a few moments where you could see the discomfort on his face. But for the most part, Japan did a pretty decent job in neutralizing the effect that he had when he came on as a substitute. And I thought Honda's presence, save for those few gaffes going forward, Honda was more of a vital playmaker for Japan today than James Rodriguez was for Colombia. So Honda still has his very famous trademark yellow hair. But Asia is off to a good start in this tournament. They have 2 wins. That's more wins than South America has. I think Asia technically right now is in second place behind Europe on the score sheet, on the points tally as well. And that's incredible. I thought Asia would have a good World Cup. It's only match day 1. We still have one more game of match day 1 today, and then we go back to match day 2, which starts at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the United States. But I'm feeling a little bit more better about picking Japan to come through this group. I picked them to come through this group in second, picked Colombia to win this group. I think Colombia still can win this group. But their next game is against Poland, and they have to pick up the pieces from here. So congratulations to Japan. And I'll see you guys in the next video, God willing. Until then, have a good one. Much love and peace out.